So imagery is important. So they have given to us an image of white Jesus, and that's all we've ever known. So when they do things to us, we lose our mind, because in our recessively in our mind, we think, how can God be killing us? Because that's how they painted themselves. But because the black image has always been portrayed as what? Negative. That's why we don't care if we shoot one another. So if we put the image into our people's mind that Christ looked like you and I, then we'd have a better love for one another. I'm just saying this in general. I'm not speaking about all. But so now when I see you, I'm not going to be inclined to rob you, to kill from you, to steal from you, or do whatever, because I see the image of Christ. So what they have done is taken the image of Christ and painted it as a white man. And now when white people walk down our block, what do our people? All the thugs, the known thieves, the known killers, the known bankers, when white people jog down the block with their earphones in, what do? They let them go by. You know why? Because they have an image that white Jesus is Jesus. And so they see those people as, hold on. So yeah. So now, hold on, right. So let's get Revelation. So now, when we have an image of Negroes just being nothing, when I jog down the street, or if I'm walking down the street, now I get stuck up because they don't see Christ in each other. So we get here to talk about God, right? Let's hear what God himself looked like, because that was the other point I wanted to get to about spirit, right? Because we say God is a spirit, we serve him in spirit. Right. How is it when it comes to God, we do everything in spirit, but when it comes to the white man, we do everything physically? White man said celebrate 4th of July, we celebrate it. White man said celebrate Christmas, we celebrate it. When it was never a custom back in the days. Read that.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 9.
God has a physical body. Read that.
I beheld till the thrones were cast down. And the Ancient of Days did sit.
So this is the Ancient of Days. This is God Almighty. Read.
And the Ancient of Days did sit.
It said the Ancient of Days did sit. In order to sit somewhere, don't you got to have a body? I can't be a spirit and sit in a chair, right? Come on.
Whose garment
is garment. So now it says God had a garment. Can a spirit put on a garment? Read.
Was white as snow. And the hair of his head.
Now they're describing what God's hair texture looked like. He said the hair on his head, what?
Like the pure wool.
Like you and every single one of these people in here. If we had an image as black people that God and Christ looked like us, we wouldn't no longer have that hatred towards one another. But because we've had that image of a white Jesus and that black people are nothing, now we're more inclined to commit crime against our brothers. But when white people go around, they're free to do what they want to because of the imagery. Color does matter. I got a question. How many of y'all have children in here? You got children, right? If your son got lost in the mall and he can't find you, and so the people is like, hey, you looking for your dad? What does your dad look like? And he says, oh, my dad is a white man with blonde hair and blue eyes. How he's going to identify his real father? Because that's a lie.